grab your bucket, grab your shears. It's time to do wedding number 2. Wedding number 2. And while I'm super excited to do the wedding this week, I gotta say this week has been full of challenges. So yet again, the weather is like plus 30 every day, which is great for flowers opening, but is not so great for trying to keep the flowers cool. As it is, we've sacrificed basically half of the fridge so that I can actually keep these orders cool and everything looking beautiful. The most frustrating part is that when I took on these weddings, I sort of had specific flowers in mind that I knew would bloom at the times of these weddings, or like in a normal year, they bloom at the time of these weddings, but they didn't this year. This week's order was supposed to hinge all around these gorgeous lilies that are pink and white and usually open right when the delphiniums do. But do you think they have this year? No. They are still pretty much in a tight bud stage. I see no signs of pink, no signs of white. There is no way those lilies are opening by tomorrow morning, which is when I need to deliver this order to my bride. So that means I had to enlist help from other flower farmers. And even the other flower farmers don't have a ton because it's still early July and really the big flowers don't happen until like middle of July. So July 15th is like the earliest, and then everything really gets going like that last week of July all the way into September and the first frost. The other super frustrating thing is like I do have flowers, but they're all the wrong colors. My bride doesn't want yellow. Like no bride really wants yellow. I mean, if you're out there and you want a yellow wedding and you can book end of July, beginning of August, like I'm your girl. I've got the yellow. And, you know, I have lots of delphiniums, but they're blue. And even like my supporting things that I have, so I have some white dill that's going to work out beautifully. And some of the pink stock that I have at my mom's garden is not looking fried out. So I can use some of that pink stock. It'll be absolutely perfect. My stuff, I think I have one that will be lovely for the groom's boutonniere, but I don't know if there's any that are really worthy of going into the bride's bouquet. I was super hoping that my cosmos would be in bloom by now because I have lots of beautiful pinks and whites. I have one white cosmo, like that's it. So I guess, you know, if you're watching this because you're wondering about being a first-year flower farmer and like how this kind of all works out, I think it's just a good lesson that you can, you know, try your best and plan your best to have flowers at certain times, but Mother Nature wins. I guess we're just going to make the best of it. We're going to grab whatever we can from here in the acreage. We'll grab whatever we can at my house, and then we'll head on over to the other flower farmer who has a bucket sale today. She's reserved one for me. I'm going to take a look at them, and depending on the size of the bucket, I might buy 2. Now, the other thing about this is that because I'm having to purchase from other flower farmers, I am not going to make as much of a profit on this wedding, which is frustrating. But that's also the business sometimes. And you know what? I don't want a bride going without on her wedding day. So even if I make 0 and just break even on this, it's at least advertising for another year. I don't think I'll make 0. Like I'll still make something, but it is a little frustrating. Okay. Enough of the complaining. This week, I'm also using a little bit of a different system. I've taken a milk jug and we've just cut this part off of it so that I can put flowers in here. I have this nice little handle. I don't have to truck a heavy bucket all over the acreage. And then I've just got my main bucket that I'll dump all the different flowers into, or all the different greenery into, as I just go through the different spots in the yard. Well, let's go pick some flowers. So yet again, I'm picking at not ideal times. It's probably about noon, which ideally I would have done all of this in the morning. There's just so much to do in the morning. I needed to water the garden, which always takes a really long time to get every single thing done. So the good thing about picking this stuff, not like my finer flowers, so let's be honest, these ditchweeds, they are way tougher probably than my nice flowers. So what do you do? Hopefully I'll be able to find enough white ones. Okay, we got a pretty good sprig of these. I don't know, this is probably at least 15 stems. So we are good to go and head back to the city. Greens bucket is picked. I'm actually pretty pleased with these textures. We have some nice poplar leaves, that clover that I've just been picking, the choke cherries, this, which I have no idea what it is, and oh, where's that carragana hiding? There it is, and then we have just a little bit of carragana. Really nice balance of textures and shapes here. Here are my flowers from City Girl Flower Farm. Look how gorgeous these pinks and whites are. Like, I can't even believe how lucky my bride is. Like, these are so beautiful. All right, the assembly line is ready. All of the stems are clean. I have it sort of just the way I want it, because once I start making these big hand-tied bouquets, it's really hard to stop the process. For me, this is like the most terrifying part of the whole thing, is everything is clean, everything is ready to go, and I've got to hold that big bouquet in my hand and make sure it looks perfect. And really, once you start, you can't really stop. And it's also hard to like move things in and out of the bouquet if like the height is not right, or you decide like a different color is needed. Like, you can do it to a point, but sort of once you're committed when you're getting to that outer layer of the bouquet. So as always, I'll put on the time lapse for a while, but if I feel like I'm just getting too nervous and I'm not doing my best work, then I'm going to stop it and just finish up and show you the finished product. Not kidding when I say these are deluxe. Like, this is how big this is. I can barely hold it. It's insane. Okay, there we go. That's pretty much it. One crazy, beautiful deluxe bouquet. I think my bride is going to be super happy with this. So I've just tied it in a ribbon, like that's good enough. This is not actually her color, it's close to her color, and I'll put the real ribbon on in the morning. The ribbon I have is sparkly, and so I think all the sparkles are gonna fall off in the water overnight, and I just don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna wrap that real ribbon around it right before I give it to her. So we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. Just took a walk. This one was up ridiculously early, but that's okay because it's really nice outside. And now we're gonna make the groom's boutonniere. Both of the help is awake this morning. So for the groom, we're gonna use a little bit of Dusty Miller, some of this white dill, totally love it, my one perfect stock, and then some mint. And the nice thing about whenever you use herbs in your arrangements is then you're left with all of these. And so this can be this morning's mint tea. You know what, this Dusty Miller, the stems just aren't long enough for what I needed to do, so I think I need to grab some sage instead. Okay, I got the sage. I did a little offshoot of some of the feverfew that I had, and I think this is looking like I want it, so now I can wrap it up, and the order is done. And now it's got its water, and it can just chill out until it's time to deliver. All right, a little later, The groom souvenir is made. I've taken tons of pictures, tons of video. One of the things that I think is really important this year, even if I don't make a ton of money off of bouquets and flower sales, is just that I build up a body of work so that next year, next winter, when potential brides are looking at my profile, they can see what I've done. They know my different price points of everything. They sort of know what to expect for different seasons. And it'll just, I think, make the whole process a lot smoother, and it'll be an easier sale because they can actually see what they're gonna get. And then, of course, do I have to do reels for every single bouquet? Technically no, but I still want to because my profile's small. I really need to get out there, and Instagram reels are probably the fastest way to find the bride that I'm looking for. So here's hoping. Okay, everything is delivered. I'm always so nervous when I go to do a delivery, and then the bride wasn't even there, so it was her parents. So I don't know if she likes it or not, but I know someone in the bridal party, so, or not the bridal party, I know a guest at the wedding, so she will tell me the deets. Okay, now to go make some more bouquets for today's pop-up sale. Yeah, water plants? You show Mama the next bucket. What you doing?
To wash hands,
wash hands, okay. Things have finally cooled off just a little bit, and my helper and I can now pick whatever we can find in my yard so that we have some bouquets to sell tomorrow. My mom also brought some of the blooms from her yard to use in the bouquet, so I'm excited to have just a few extra ingredients. We've also upgraded our buckets, but unfortunately, my sweet little helper is emptying these of water basically as fast as I can fill them up. So we'll see if I get to use them or not.
Here, it's done.
Okay. Generally, I'm a fan of status, but you know what? I am just not feeling this particular mix. I'm thinking I'm not gonna grow it again. What do you guys think? So let's talk dahlias for a moment. If you plan on growing dahlias, I highly suggest these Arabian Night dahlias. Now, I don't know exactly what has eaten this dahlia, so this one's just for me, but this one's perfect. So this one will go in sale. So I really pride myself on being able to make a bouquet from like basically whatever when it seems like you have absolutely nothing, but this is such an odd assortment of colors. Maybe I just make rainbow bouquets and just kind of go with it. I don't know. Okay, I think I figured out the strategy. So like in this color palette and maybe with some of the yellows, I'll have something kind of warm yet a little bit toned down. Then I will have just some rainbow bouquets with every single color. And then I think I will do one taller one that makes use of those delphiniums. Is a motley crew of flowers to deal with. This is making way more bouquets than I thought. So I'm at 4 now, and I think I can maybe get 5 or 6. We'll see. 2 more to go, maybe. So I bet you're all wondering, how did the flower sale go? Well, it was abysmal. I only sold one bouquet. I thought I had sold 3 bouquets, but out of 2 of those inquiries, one of them was not able to pick it up, so she didn't end up buying it. I had a second person interested in that same arrangement, but no response from them. And then I also had another arrangement that someone has claimed and then didn't message me back. And basically, with how hot it is and I just don't have the refrigeration, we actually have food in our fridge again. I'm gonna just have to give them away or just enjoy them myself by today, because if they sit out there too long, you know, they're just not gonna be fresh. It's not something I want to sell, and that's unfortunate, but that's also life. I mean, I also feel like I didn't have maybe the nicest flowers to work with this week, or things in really interesting combinations. I swear I made the best of it, but sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So flower sale for this week is a grand total of $15. But that's first year flower farming for you. I like to think of it that it's kind of similar to the music business that I used to run. The first year that I was off on my own, I got so discouraged and I felt like, why did I even go away and get a master's degree to teach voice lessons? Because I barely have any students. This just doesn't pay. But basically that first year, even though I didn't have a lot of students, those students told their friends, and then next year I had more students. And then by year 3, I felt like was really the turnaround year, where the word of mouth had gotten out enough that I had a decent client base. So I have a feeling it's going to be the same with cut flowers, that you just have to wait it out. And if it's not looking like it's picking up by year 3, then you sort of have some decisions to make, like maybe this just is not the business for me, or you're gonna have to just do something drastically different. But anyway, this is like the 3rd or 4th week of selling flowers, so let's not make any assumptions right now. And I mean, the wedding side of things is going very, very well. So all right, that's everything for this week. If you're interested in growing cut flowers, or maybe even starting up a business, I will be out with a more advanced program in October about this whole experience and just sort of how to start a cut flower business. For now, if you'd like to know about the growing side of things, I have Cut Flowers Made Simple. I'll just put a link below in the description. And if you want to follow the cut flower growing journey, my account for that on Instagram is Shifting Roots in Bloom. And then my normal account where I show up every single day to just talk about Zone 3 gardening, cold climate gardening, all those things, is just Shifting Roots. All right, friends, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.